Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm going to show a very nice watch from Addiesdive called AD2075 with green dial. I'll show you how this watch looks like on my 16.5 centimeter wrist or 6.5 inches, and I'll also show you how this watch looks like on some custom straps. And also I want to do a little comparison to another watch from Addiesdive called AD2080 with this blue dial. I have already done full review on this watch. If you haven't seen, check it out because this is wonderful looking watch. Definitely one of the best looking blue dials, and I want to compare them because they are very similar in size and basically have same specifications. So we're gonna see how they compare. This video is sponsored by Addiesdive. Addiesdive has sent me this watch for this video and I get to keep it. So Addiesdive, thank you very much for sponsoring this small YouTube channel. And let me tell you the specifications, and as always I did all the measurements myself and I have found something interesting. So let me tell you. The weight of this watch, of the bracelet, this watch weighs 62 grams. Diameter of this watch, the case diameter is 38.8 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 47.9, lug width is 20. And now thing that I found is that this watch is listed on AliExpress as 13.5 millimeters in thickness, but actually according to my measurements together with the case back and the sapphire crystal, total thickness is 12.9 millimeters, and visual thickness, if I measure just the side, sapphire crystal excluded, I get about 11.8 millimeters. Water resistance rating is 100 meters. It has a screw down crown and screw down case back, and inside it has NH35 automatic movement. That's how this watch looks like from the top down view on my small wrist. And you know, this watch appears to be a little bit larger than millimeters suggest. The diameter of the case is 38.8 millimeters, which is nothing crazy. No, it's not extra large, but it's not a very slim watch. At 12.9 millimeters, it does have quite a bit of presence on the wrist. That's why this watch appears to be a little bit larger than it actually is. So, you know, speaking about comfort, this watch fits within the frame of my wrist very nicely. And generally speaking, I can't really complain. This watch does not feel as large as it visually looks like, you know. So it actually feels okay on my wrist, can't really complain, especially on a silicone strap, something like this that I will show you later on. On silicone strap like this, zero discomfort whatsoever. Now let me show you the bracelet. The bracelet is actually the same as on this watch, at least according to my observations. I don't really see too many differences. Maybe the first link is sculpted a little bit differently because lugs are a little bit different on these watches, but other than that the bracelet looks exactly the same. So the bracelet on this watch, solid links, solid end links, links are connected with pins, top is brushed and sides are polished out. The finishing quality in terms of the sharpness, it's not super well refined, but it's better than average. It's actually okay. The fitment inside lugs is actually very good. Zero free play, no gaps. It sits very flush, both sides, very nice. The first link is free, as you can see. Now the clasp on this green watch, the inside is actually, well, it's not super well refined, but it's better than average. It's actually okay. The outer shelf is actually wonderful. Edges and corners are very nicely rounded. There is zero sharpness on this particular example, and it looks nice. It's nicely brushed, has this nice Addiesdive engraving, nicely polished out edges, plenty of micro adjustments and as I told you, very nicely finished, at least this particular example. Let's take a look at the finishing of the case on this watch. Bezel is nice and shiny, sides are bubbly and shiny. Top of the lugs is brushed. The inside of the lugs is vertically brushed. The inside walls of the lugs actually alright, edges don't feel sharp, they are nicely rounded. Even the very tip, the very corner is actually rounded a little bit, it's not catching on my finger, that's nice. The bottom edge very nicely rounded. The case back, that's how it looks like. And the sharpness is actually okay, this one is not too bad. Now the crown, also the finishing on the crown is very nice, it's not too sharp, it's not rough, it's nicely finished. The only thing I could tell is that I kinda wish that this watch would have a little bit bigger crown, because there is definitely enough space to accommodate a little bit bigger crown. So it's simple but nicely finished, and it's totally different than the blue watch. The difference is that the blue one is way more angular, way more sporty and aggressive, and every flat surface is brushed and every edge is polished out. It's way more complex, way different, way more complex, and actually very nicely finished. On this watch, it's also, I can't really complain, it's very nicely finished, but it's very simple in comparison. That's how I could compare them, you know. The green watch is way more classy, way more elegant, while the blue one is way more angular, sporty and modern, at least according to my opinion, you know. And that's how they look like side by side, if you were wondering. Both are nicely finished, but this one is way more intriguing and complex. Now I wanna show you this beautiful green dial, and I wanna say that this green dial looks very special, very beautiful. It has very nice texture, and sometimes dials with textures tend to look a little bit cheap and plasticky, but not this one. This is a good example of how textured dial should be made, because it does appear as if it has a little bit of lacquer on top. It's very nicely done. It's very beautiful. It does look expensive and special, but there is one thing standing in the way of me fully enjoying this green dial, as you can already tell probably, is the sapphire crystal on this watch. It is very glossy, very reflective. It has plenty of reflections that stand in the way, and another big problem is that this sapphire crystal is rather distortive, and even if you look straight down on the dial right now, you can't even see half of the minute markers. They disappear through the distortions, and it creates this kind of effect, making it look like this dial is sitting very deep. You know, this watch is already rather thick, so this kind of distortion doesn't help with the overall look of this watch. I think, in my opinion, this watch could look a lot better if it had just simple flat sapphire crystal. It would look, it would be you know, slimmer, it wouldn't have distortions, and the dial wouldn't look this deep. I think I would like it better. And let me show you another example, a good example. This is a good example. This sapphire crystal is very good. It has rather decent anti-reflective coating, even though edges are, you know, curvy. It's not a flat sapphire crystal, but it does not have distortions, and the dial underneath this sapphire crystal does not appear to be deep. So this sapphire crystal does not stand in the way of me fully enjoying this gorgeous, beautiful blue dial on this watch, which looks spectacular, simply wonderful, very special looking thing. And you know, this green watch has just as strong of a potential looking that special, but because of this sapphire crystal, it's not as good, in my opinion. It's not as good. And another thing is that bezel is rather thick on this watch, so you know, I think bezel on this watch could be a little bit slimmer, and the sapphire crystal could be either completely flat or something like this, then this watch would be very, very special, would be very, very nice, because it has very, very huge potential. And let me give you a little bit better look at this dial, because the dial itself is spectacular. The dial itself is very, very, very good, very, very nice. And maybe, you know, yeah, I struggle to show you because of the reflections and distortions. So let me play a little bit with the light, because there are some angles where this watch looks rather special. Once you find an angle where you can see the dial without too many distortions and reflections, you can see the true beauty of it. So let me put it on my wrist, and let me play a little bit with the light. Maybe I can find some angles where I can truly show you how beautiful it is, because it is very, very beautiful. Well, maybe on this angle. It's once you catch a full look of this green dial, then you understand how special it is. It's really special. Very, very beautiful dial. When sapphire crystal is not standing in the way with its glossiness and distortions. So anyway, let's play a little bit more with the light. That's how it looks like in a candle style light. And yeah, this angle is very nice. It looks rather special. And you know what, just to switch things up a little bit for the comparison reasons, let me put another watch on my wrist. And whoa, oh boy, this thing. This one is not as affected with the light as much as the green one. This one looks great on basically any light, basically any angle of light. It looks just great, no matter the light, no matter the angle. It looks just great. While the green one does need to catch specific light, specific angle to look that good. But once it catches that angle and that light, it does look pretty good. Okay, the Lume is fully charged up. Now let's turn off the lights. The Lume is the same on them. It's blue. It's a little bit darker, so it's not very exciting, but this is a long-lasting type of Lume. This is a good quality Lume, as usual on Addiesdive. I don't even know if I ever had a watch from Addiesdive that wouldn't have a decent Lume. So I have tested both of them as my night watches, and I had no trouble telling the time in the morning. So the Lume on them gets the job done. The watch is fully wound. Let's check the accuracy. Very nice, but what if I would flip it over? Let's see, how about now? Okay, still very nice. But what if I would put this watch like this, crown facing down? How about now? Well, actually not bad, results not bad. As for an H35A movement, results actually rather stable. Now let's do a little bit of a quality control testing, and let's see the alignment of hands and how far from the midnight it is going to flip the date. So let's set hands on 6. Let's see if they are straight. Yes, they are straight. Alignment seems nice. Now how far from the midnight it is going to flip the date. 11 PM, 11:30, 11:45. Now let's go slowly. Nice. So basically 1 or 2 minutes away from the midnight it flips the date. Very, very nice results. Now the crown action, what can I observe about crown action? Well, it's an H35A movement, it's inside, so obviously crown action is great. All the clickability and everything feels very precise. Winding the watch feels nice. Changing the date also feels very nice and clicky. As always, with an H35A movement inside, crown action feels great. Now screwing it down, It's fine, doesn't feel grindy or anything, it feels good quality. The only thing I could complain about is that I kinda wish this watch would have a little bit bigger crown, because given the size of this watch it could easily have a little bit larger crown, because this one does feel a little bit small in operations. For example, the blue one has perfect size crown in my opinion for the size of the watch. It feels great. Everything about the crown action on this watch, the size and everything is just great. And if I put them side by side, you can see that the green watch crown on the green watch is noticeably smaller. So yeah, I wish it was a little bit larger. I think this watch on its original bracelet looks okay, but I also like how this watch looks on some custom straps, so let's have some fun and let's try it out. First of all, on a dressy option, shiny black leather strap. So first of all I'm gonna give you a first person view look, and later on we're gonna take a look from the third person view. So let's have some fun, and I actually like how it looks like on this one. It looks dressy, it's like, looks like some kind of an office watch. Very nice office watch. Now this leather strap is not so dressy, but it has plenty of character. This is that type of leather strap that gets all kinds of stretch marks and scratches and looks aged and has plenty of character, and I really like how this watch looks like on this leather strap. It's very nice. Very nice combination. Man, sometimes when I catch the right angle, this green dial looks just spectacular. It's so beautiful. Now a rather thick watch on a rather thick leather strap. I think this is pretty good combination. This strap does match this watch rather nicely. This is probably my favorite combination. This watch on this silicone strap feels great. It feels on the wrist way smaller than it visually looks like with this strap. It's actually very comfortable with this strap, can't complain at all. And I think this green strap with this green dial, very nice combination. Now shiny watch on a shiny bracelet, always looks good. No exceptions this time, it does look great on this chainmail of a bracelet. And if you find anything, any straps interesting from this video, you can find them all on my website, thomaswatchreviews.com. Yeah, very nice combination. Now let me show you the same straps from the third person view, as if you were sitting next to me, you know. How does it look like? I do really like this combination, shiny bracelet on a shiny watch. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. Now dressy style black shiny leather strap. It's actually a very nice combination. It makes this green dial just pop out a little bit more. It kind of frames it more into action. I wonder how it looks like underneath the sleeve like that. Yeah, it looks pretty good though. It's a little bit difficult to catch an angle sometimes where it wouldn't be, you know, glossy. But once I catch the angle, it looks great. It looks great. This watch has huge potential. Huge potential. Now the cool option, the strap with scratches, which looks aged. It looks very nice. Very nice. I really like the character of this strap that it gives to any watch that they put on the strap. Thick watch on a thick leather strap. Very good combination. I think this watch looks alright on this strap. It dresses it down a little bit, it looks a little bit more casual. And I think it's a nice match. And this is my favorite, the most comfortable option. Green silicone strap on a watch with a green dial. Obviously very nice combination, and I think it looks good. It's not dressy right now, it's rather sporty with a silicone strap, so it doesn't really match my dressy shirt, but I think it's a very nice combination. And for the ending of this video, let's put this watch back on its original bracelet, which in my opinion looks, well, a little bit boring, but it's a safe option. It's a safe option. It looks okay. It looks okay. So for the ending of the video, what kind of conclusions could I tell? In my opinion, this watch has huge potential, but it doesn't feel like it's a finished product just yet. I wish to see a little bit larger crown on this watch, I wish to see a little bit better sapphire crystal on this watch, and I wish that this watch would lose a few millimeters of thickness. Then this watch would be absolutely wonderful. Right now it only has a great potential, and if I would compare to the blue watch feels like finished product. There is nothing that could be done to this watch that would really improve this watch. It would, if you change anything on this blue watch, it would make it different, not better. That's my opinion about this blue watch. It's done really well. The case, I know it's very complex, it's very nicely finished. The dial and hands and the sapphire crystal on this watch. This is one of those rare examples where you take the watch and it's like, wow, this thing is special, and there is nothing to complain about. It's like either the watch fits you or doesn't fit you. That's it, simple as that. But with the green one, well, I wish several things were done differently, but the potential is definitely there. So that's it. That's all I have to show you today. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.